Do you feel that there were any battles won in the 60s in the long term?
Definitely, definitely. We won a lot of battles. I must say that Martin Luther King didn't win too much with his nonviolence. He's remembered more than Malcolm X. And Malcolm X never had a chance to get the kind of popularity that Martin Luther King got.
Okay, so she just mentioned two men, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I have a couple questions just about this part alone, and I need for you to be honest in the comments, okay? First off, she said that Malcolm X never got the popularity that Martin Luther King had. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about that. I mean, do you think it's true? And if it is, why? Also, let's assume that you currently do not have the rights that you are seeking. Do you see yourself being more like Martin Luther King, where you are calm, relaxed, nonviolent? Or do you think it's best to be more like Malcolm X, where you are by any means necessary, fight fire with fire? Let me know in the comments. Be honest.
But I was never nonviolent, never. I thought we should get our rights by any means necessary. And with Kwame Ture and the Black Panthers and Lorraine Hansberry, I think we did pretty well.
And yet, in the book, you make it very clear that you feel very disappointed at the way the civil rights movement fell apart and the way that backlash occurred.
Oh, yes, I was very disappointed that we didn't take over the world, David. Mm-hmm. I thought we should take over the world. I actually think that black people should rule the world.
Does anything today make you feel the same kind of anger and the same strength of feeling that the Mississippi incident did?
No, nothing today. Not a thing.
You always seem to have the bearing of a classically trained pianist.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I like that. Since I wanted to be at the world's first black concert pianist for 22 years, I certainly like the idea that I have the bearing of one, because at least I can relate to that when I play these jazz songs that I have to play on my concerts all the time.
Okay, let me know in the comments, how familiar are you with Nina Simone music? You know, Mississippi Goddamn, For Women, To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. Let me know what's your favorite in the comments.
What prevented you from becoming a classical
Well,
performer?
I went to Juilliard School of Music for 2 years and studied with Carl Friedberg. And then I applied for a scholarship to Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, and they turned me down because I was black. And I never got over it.
Do you feel you've missed out through not being able to express yourself as a classical performer?
Yes, I do. I suppose in my solitude, I still regret the fact that I didn't become it, because you get an audience who listens to music, who do not smoke and who do not drink, and they have come to listen to you, and it's the world's most revered kind of music. Classical music is, all over Europe and all over the world. It's regarded as the highest, and of course I always wanted to be associated with the highest type of music. So in that sense, I regret it. But I don't think that I would have made as much money, not that I'm making that much now, but I don't think I would have made as much money nor had the popularity that I have now in having played, in playing jazz the way I do. And I certainly would not have written this book.
One of the things that comes out very clearly from the book to me is this kind of strange relationship you seem to have with audiences. You're very close to them and you're very close to their feelings and very receptive, but they often seem to hurt you, and you often seem to have pain at the way they respond to your music. How would you explain that?
Well, when they didn't listen to me years ago, I wouldn't play for them. That's a classical trait. I simply wouldn't play for them. Now, that's not quite true these days because I give a concert no matter what. I get paid, so I give a concert. But for years, when they wouldn't listen to me, I just wouldn't play for them at all, and I would reprimand them for not listening. You know about that, of course. You've heard about it. And I got the reputation for being difficult in the sense, well, I was difficult because when they wouldn't listen, I wouldn't play.
As you mentioned, you had a reputation as being, to put it politely, I think, temperamental
Yes.
performer.
Well, let's face it, the diva was temperamental. Maria Callas was temperamental, and I love to be compared to her. And if that means temperament, so be it.
Are you still as temperamental?
Not as temperamental, if I get my way.
The other strong element in the book is the kind of turbulence of your personal life, where you seem so close to happiness many times and yet always fail to really stay happy and stay in those happy positions. Do you think there's an element of self-destructiveness about you?
No, I don't think it's self-destructiveness. I can't afford to think that. But it seems that life has taken most of my men away. I just think that I've worked so hard and go to so many damn places all the time that I don't have time to spend with them like I should. That's what I think has happened to all my men.
You often seem to, you've been defined as being a jazz singer, a soul singer, various things. None of them really seems an appropriate definition.
They call me the high priestess of soul, David. I think that's good enough.
Okay, so let me tell you a little story about me, and I have a question at the end of the story. So when I was about 16 years old, I used to work at Famous Bar. That's way before Macy's, and I worked in the sports section, and it was this girl that worked in the section right next to us. She was beautiful. She was Caucasian. She was beautiful, and I wanted to ask her out on a date. And when I finally got the nerve to go up to her and approach her and talk to her and all of that stuff, she invited me over to her house for dinner instead. Now, I thought that was a little strange, because we, haven't sat down and talked, none of that. But I was like, okay, you know what? Forget it. No problem. I got her number and talked to her a couple times and went over her house on the day that I was supposed to be there. She met me right outside her door, and the first thing she said to me was, okay, I know how you are at work. I need for you to not be that way. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? She said, you know how you are, at work, you're a professional, and I need for you to be black. And I said, huh? She said, you know how you is with your homeboys. And I said, what? And she said, look, I need for you to go in here and scare my parents. And I just looked at her like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but the way I am at work is the same way I am at home. I don't change my attitude for nobody. This is me. She refused to believe that, and I just turned around and walked away. So my question to you is, have you ever been judged by the color of your skin? And if so, paint me a picture in the comments. Be honest. And in the video, he mentioned that she was a part of many different genres of music. So do you have a specific type of genre of music that you prefer to listen to? Also, don't forget to share this video with anyone you deem necessary. Like and subscribe to the channel.